There you go. Okay, if you're not in this group, you gotta move. Back here in the back. Except that young lady right there. Stand up tall, chins up. You guys are looking here. You gotta smile. On 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll take 3 shots. We're all right there. Okay, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. 1, 2, jump. Thank you very much.
Good evening and welcome to the 22nd School of Medicine White Coat Ceremony. My name is Jennifer Christner and I serve as Dean of the School of Medicine. I know that each of you in the audience share in the joy of this very special milestone, entrance to medical school. You will be sharing that with someone who will soon be on this stage donning the iconic symbol of physicianhood, the white coat. Physicians are often part of the very intimate parts of people's lives. We are there for their first breath. We are there for their last breath. We are privy to confidential information that no other profession dares ask. I thank you for being present to witness this intimate and very special moment, the induction of your loved ones as they join this most noblest of professions. At this time, I would like to introduce several of the faculty and staff who will support you. First, will the Baylor chairs, center directors, and faculty members please stand? These individuals play a very important role in the educational process, both in the classroom and in the clinical rotations. Next, I would like to ask the deans in the School of Medicine and administration of the Student Affairs and Registrar's Office to stand. Each of these individuals is absolutely essential for the education and support of our medical students. Finally, I would like to introduce Dr. George Perry, President of the Alumni Association, who represents Baylor College of Medicine alumni who generously provided the white coats for our students. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Alicia Monroe, Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic and Faculty Affairs. Dr. Monroe is a tremendous advocate for our students in all of our schools, and we are very fortunate to have her here at Baylor.
Thank you, Dr. Christner, and good evening. Class of 2022, parents, significant others, colleagues, department chairs. This significant day brings back really important and precious memories for all the physicians in the room, including myself, as we reflect on our entry into the medical profession. Tonight's ceremony is a joyful yet solemn occasion. The donning of the white coat and the medical student oath are the beginning of the medical student's journey to becoming a physician and a healer. Both the oath and the white coat remind us of the timeless and universal truth about being a physician, that caring for fellow human beings is a powerful privilege that carries with it obligation and responsibility to abide by high professional standards. The white coat serves as a practical recognition of physicians, and the history of the white coat began with the integration of science with medicine. The tradition began in the mid-1800s when the scientific method led to the creation of evidence-based medicine, which improved the quality of health care of our patients and has led to a doubling of the lifespan in the United States over the last 150 years. The white coat is also a symbol that reflects professional standards as outlined in the Oath of Hippocrates that we take as physicians. As you put on your white coat, you will need to embrace the oath because patients will expect that of you. The significance of these ceremonies is to formalize your recognition that medicine is a profession and not a job. You are not, nor will you ever be, a shift worker. And that is not to demean the importance of those who work 8 to 5 and 3 to 11 and 7 to 3. Because we all have value and we make contributions to our society. But the point is, it's extraordinarily important for you to transition your mindset, because as you serve and as you continue to develop as professionals, it's very important for you to think about the commitment you have to your patients and how it supersedes the time that you work. As Baylor medical students and eventually as Baylor graduates, we challenge you to strive for the highest professional standards. The white coat carries with it expectations about your behavior, and the expectation is 24/7, 365. When you're in the grocery store, when you've got on your flip-flops and your baseball caps, you have to let your hair down too. Whether you have on makeup, exception, I realize that all the gentlemen probably don't wear makeup. But the point is, it's very important that as you transition into the profession, you are also transitioning from a college student mindset to a professional mindset. And think about that when you email, post pictures online, get on your Twitter feed or your Tumblr. It's very important that you realize if you're having a bad day and you've got some strong emotions, do not put anything in an electronic record. You may decide that you want to write something, but please don't send it. Everybody needs to decompress. Everybody has to work through difficult situations, but it's very important that you're mindful that your professional obligation is actually with you wherever you go, whether you're on duty or off duty. When you were selected to be students at Baylor, it was not just because of your academic excellence. It was also because we believe that you bring with you commitment to the core principles of the practice of medicine, which is caring for patients and responding to their needs. In short, we believe that you will take responsibility for your medical education, that you will seriously strive for academic excellence, and you will aspire to professional excellence. It's not just how much you know, it's how you demonstrate your care and your concern for your colleagues, for your patients, for your faculty, and those you have an opportunity to serve in all the ways in which you will contribute to the community during your professional career. Remember, you haven't gotten this far on your own, and you will not go forward alone. Dr. Christner had faculty stand, she had deans to stand. There are many people that are here that are committed to your success, and we want to hear from you if you need anything. This is not a time to get a long straw and suck it up or get a bullet to bite on. This is a time for you to be wise, to be self-aware, and if there are resources that you need, not to be too proud to seek them out. It doesn't make you lesser or less talented, it makes you wise. Because throughout your professional career, there will be things that you won't know. One of the best pieces of advice I received from one of my faculty members when I was a third-year medical student, he said, Alicia, one of the things you really need to be clear about is what you know and what you don't know. Because parents' lives are at stake, patients' lives are at stake. And the parents of the children you care for, the husbands of the wives you may tend to on your OBGYN rotation, all of those people matter. And it's very important that you bring your best, not your best guess. Your family's here. It's important that you know that they're in your corner. Please share not just your bad times. And all mothers in the room, please don't expect phone calls. But if you cook and you're local and you bring food and you freeze it for meals, it will be very helpful for your young people. So there are important things that you can do, but checking in, but expecting them to check in will sometimes be a burden that will disappoint you and stress your young people. Be satisfied with a text, okay? You may really want to call, but just remember they're doing their best. So students, steward your relationships. Parents, be gentle. So as you move forward and you share both your disappointments and your challenges, please share your celebrations so that those who care deeply about you and helped you get to this point can celebrate each and every milestone with you. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Bert O'Malley, Chancellor of Baylor College of Medicine, to introduce the 2018 DeBakey Scholar Award recipient.
Well, congratulations to you fine-looking young men and women. It looks like you made it to stage one. but mostly congratulations to the parents, relatives, and friends who have helped them and shepherded them through these arduous hurdles to get here. And remember, when they come home for the holidays, they don't know everything yet. So no therapy and prescriptions. My job tonight is to present the DeBakey Scholar Award, okay? Now, most of you will have heard of Michael DeBakey. He was one of the founders of our modern medical center here. He was a medical icon who was revered throughout the world, and perhaps one of the most famous surgeons who ever lived. In 1973, the Baylor College of Medicine executive faculty instituted this Baylor DeBakey Scholar Award. It's to be presented to a rising senior student. It is meant as a tribute to Michael DeBakey for his leadership as professor of surgery, president and chancellor at Baylor College of Medicine, and his fundraising, philanthropy, and guidance as the medical center developed. This award stipulates that the recipient be chosen from the medical students who have completed all but the last year, because it is intended that the recipient be a living model in residence for the incoming students and the additional students at Baylor. The recipient must have demonstrated excellence in scholarship for sure, but also to have demonstrated integrity and leadership and community service, accomplishing those something extras that are beyond the normal curriculum. The award committee is composed of myself and Drs. Cass, Wheeler, Wenzel, Ballasur-Bermanian, and Rosen. The committee is pleased to announce that the recipient of this year's DeBakey Scholar Award is Zachary Solomon. As a student of the senior class, Zachary represents what this award is all about. He has attained a top-ranking scholarship level and for the first 3 years, including a background in teaching, research, strong community service, interactions, and extracurricular activities. The award, in addition to its high honor, includes a commemorative plaque and a sum of money to be used for activities which will further the recipient's education. Zachary?
Provost Monroe, Dean Christner, Dr. O'Malley, and the DeBakey Scholar Selection Committee, faculty, students, and family. I'm humbled by this honor bestowed upon me tonight and happy to be part of this milestone event in the lives of the matriculating first-year class of Baylor College of Medicine. To the class of 2022, on behalf of all upperclassmen, I welcome you and your families to Baylor. We're excited that you've chosen to join us on your journey to becoming caring, capable, and confident physicians. Tonight, I'll be sharing my reflections on the meaning of the short white coat, just as I get ready to trade in my own for the longer version. The white coat is perhaps our most universal symbol of the medical profession. As such, it provides you access to the most guarded details of a person's existence. This, of course, includes sexual histories and questions about bowel function, but just as intimate are the questions about your patient's greatest joys and most profound regrets, the source of their resilience, and their wishes at the end of their lives. Your white coat signals to patients that they can trust you with their deepest fears as they look to your expertise for reassurance. That white coat affords you both the privilege and the immense burden of giving life-changing news. It demands that you play the role of teacher and counselor to your patients, repackaging, individualizing, and delivering your hard-won knowledge. Your white coat opens the door to so many experiences that will challenge and mature you as you bear witness to birth, death, and everything in between. Wearing a white coat gives you access to these cherished roles, but it doesn't come without its challenges. Simply putting on that white coat does not magically endow you with integrity, compassion, or honesty. It doesn't make you hardworking or knowledgeable, electrify you with good bedside manner, or transform you into a dedicated medical professional, ready and willing to make sacrifices on the behalf of your patients. By donning your white coat, you've entered into a pact with society that you will strive to live by these aforementioned ideals. I'll be the first to tell you that consistently living up to these virtues is perhaps the hardest task that you will face in medical school, and from what I can tell, even beyond. These are characteristics that take years to cultivate and require constant refocusing and self-reflection. Although I've been named this year's DeBakey Scholar because I'm supposed to serve as a good role model to you, I'm not afraid to admit that there have been several times where I've fallen short of these very virtues. Nearly all these instances have stuck with me, just as much as the highlights along the way. The situations in which I've failed to live up to the virtues of the white coat will never be told by my test scores, haven't been reflected in my grades, and will never haunt the pages of my CV. However, these episodes of failure have had a bigger impact on my personal development as a future physician than any metric or award that will follow me out of Baylor. While I'm not proud of them, they've been the occasions on which I've most meaningfully grappled with the art of medicine, the humanistic aspects of our most human of professions. These experiences have taught me how vital it is to be a good person first and a good doctor second. The science of medicine is full of limitations, gaps between disease and good health that we still can't bridge. But nobody can stop you, as a healer, from being that dedicated, passionate physician that makes patients feel empowered, heard, and respected. So take my hard-won advice. Cultivate your humanism by always remembering your own humanity. Respect the trust and the faith that people place in you, and don't forget why you're wearing your white coat. Aim to be proud of the work that you do for the sake of the patients that count on you, and nurture yourself from the friendships that you build with them along the way. You are the face of medicine now, and its future and reputation are yours to shape. Lastly, remember that your white coat is made short for a reason. It's a representation of the fact that you're still learning. You may struggle to find your footing here at first, and that's both common and perfectly okay. There will be days when you want to kick yourself over undeserved, but ultimately very real feelings of inadequacy. Trust me, we've all been there, and anybody telling you otherwise just isn't being truthful. For example, just this Monday, I spilled a full cup of coffee on a laptop at my away rotation. I've flubbed patient presentations, missed obvious diagnoses, nearly passed out in the OR, frozen during my standardized patient exams, felt completely overwhelmed when looking up patients at their charts, and I often struggle with basic things like remembering which side of the body the liver's on. I look at these as bumps along the way, reminders of my own progress, and perhaps an indication that I should be using a sippy cup. Trust me when I tell you that your skills and your confidence will come with practice, and there will come a time when you feel that you've hit your stride. Your most important job now is to learn all that you can from your fellow students, your residents, your attendings, and most importantly from your patients. Your careers are completely wide open, and your training here will prepare you well to fill them with whatever you choose. If you don't remember anything else from today, from time to time, make it a point to reflect upon your path. Why did you seek out the white coat? What qualities within yourself are going to make you worthy to care for another human being? Luckily, there isn't one right answer to these questions, and the only way to be wrong is to forget to ask them along the way. So in the words of Dr. Goodman, I want to extend another heartfelt welcome to my new young colleagues. And in the words of Dr. Cass, remember to be compassionate to yourselves along the way. Congratulations.
Thank you, Zachary. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Zavan Sargsyan, Assistant Professor of Medicine, and a recipient of the 2018 John P. McGovern Outstanding Teacher Award in the Foundational Sciences. He is also a member of the BCM School of Medicine class of 2011, and he will now present the faculty address.
Thank you, Dean Christner. And good evening, students, families, and colleagues. It's an honor to be here. So first, class of 2022, congratulations. I am super excited for you. You've started medical school, and you're on your way to becoming physicians. And I have some great news for you. Everything you said in your personal statements is 100% true. Medicine is the most amazing profession. Learning this incredible science and caring for others in their time of need is the most meaningful and fulfilling career. And you are meant for it. So, you've also hit the jackpot at Baylor, one of the best places in the world to study and practice medicine. So take a second, appreciate that, and give yourselves a round of applause. A couple of months ago, when I was first asked to make some remarks at this ceremony, I opened my laptop and quickly wrote down these words: as you don your white coat and start medical school, don't aim to turn into doctors or healers. Instead, stay human and grow into a version of your authentic self who loves to learn about human bodies and humanity, and who has learned to love others enough to give them time, attention, and empathy. A few weeks later, I opened a file again and thought, I still like that, but it's way too short. So let me tell you 3 quick stories to demonstrate why these sentiments were the first that came to me. The first story is something that happened the day I wrote those words. I had been rounding at Ben Taub, and one of my patients was an older man with dementia who had come in with worsening confusion from a new infection. He had spent most of 2018 between hospitals and rehabs, and his wife, understandably, was having a hard time coping. I had fewer patients than normal that day, and I spent almost an hour with her. I was listening, asking, guiding her as she tried to make sense of it all. During that hour, I did nothing to affect the patient's physiology or outcome, but I somehow knew that it was the most good I had done all week. The second story is from 2 days ago. For those of you who may not know, the students have already started their first clinical course called Patients, Physician, and Society. This Wednesday, they were practicing how to take a patient's history about a new symptom. Now, role-playing is always a little choppy, but this was extra awkward. It felt really uncomfortable, right? It was as if you guys were being forced to speak a new foreign language, because you were. Here's the catch, though. This new language will stop feeling foreign to you very quickly, but it will always be foreign to your patients. 6 months from now, you'll be fluent. But if you say to your patient, "Does the pain radiate?" or "Your imaging was equivocal," they might feel as uncomfortable as you did on Wednesday afternoon. Don't let that happen. It takes attention and effort to speak to patients truly without jargon. Please make this effort from day one and make it a habit. Your adherence to my recommendation is not obligatory based on its risk-benefit ratio, but please try. Finally, a story from my days as a student. I was doing a 4th-year elective and feeling like I finally had this med school thing down. My team went down to the ICU and huddled by the bed of our next patient, who was a young man who'd suddenly gotten very sick and was now on a ventilator. I was really excited to present this case because I had read up on his unusual labs and I was ready to impress everyone with my ideas. But as I started speaking, my attending gently raised his hand and gestured me with his eyes to look behind myself. As I turned around, I saw that I had been standing, eager and jumpy, with my back completely turned to the patient's worried sister. "It's okay," she said as she stepped forward, "and thank you," she said to my attending. In our insecurity and strive to succeed, we often become preoccupied with our performance and lose touch with much more important things. Always keep the patient and their loved ones in front of you, and I promise you, you will do great. To this day, I'm thankful to have made that mistake so publicly. Wearing the white coat, an intended symbol of medicine's purity, selflessness, and integrity, can sometimes have an unintended effect. It can make us feel like we're special, like we're different from others, from those we serve. Please remember that we are not. Love your work, but don't fall in love with the excitement or power of knowledge, nor the status of being a respected professional. Don't let the white coat become a shield or a barrier between you and your patient. Instead, stay human and grow into a version of your authentic self who loves to learn about humanity and who finds meaning in caring for others by giving them time, attention, and empathy. All else will fall into place. Congratulations again, and welcome to our wonderful community.
Thank you, Dr. Sargsyan. All right, now it's the moment you have been waiting for. the donning of the white coats. Assisting with this is going to be our learning community directors and advisors who serve as the mentors to our students for all 4 years and play an exceptionally important role in their development. Thank you so much for what you do for our students. Representatives from the second-year medical school class will announce the names of our first-year students, and they have done an amazing job in coordinating tonight's event.
And without further ado, let's get the show on the road. First, we have Shvita Mona Abraham, Victor Hugo Albornoz Alvarez, Syra Elizabeth Alex, Eric David Anderson, Nadia Ansari, Elliot Alex Behrman, Spencer Conrad Barrett, Jonathan Mark Barron, Anjay Kumar Batra, Hunter Bechtold. You may now don your white coats. Next we have Shayan Nashir Patena, David Stewart Bland, Catherine Louisa Boone, Amanda Elizabeth Bournazian, Carolyn G. Brooks, Alexandria Morgan Brown, Cassidy Ray Bryant, Savannah Jewel Bryce, Diana Sofia Bueso Mendoza, Philip Matthew Burkhart. You may now don your white coats. Emily Catherine Burns, Robert Lloyd Buxton, Michelle Alexis Cabeza, Mariana Cartero Murillo, Rachel Lois Carstens, Caden Nathaniel Caskey, Nicholas Sen, Joshua Chaka Narayan, Alyssa Claire Chappell, Lauren Janae Career. You may now don your white coats. Brielle Ray Corvetti, Kaylin Kristen Cummins, Savan Rajesh Dalal, Anna W. Daskowski, Jennifer Marie Dejer, Erica M. Ding, Colleen Dallas Driscoll, Aaron Alexander Drittil, Jordan Riley Dunson, Jonathan Win Ann Duong. You may now don your white coats. Bradley Dweck. Britton Victoria Elliott. Dylan Andrew Fall. Ryan Fields. Callie Rose Fisher. Madeline Mariah Flanagan. You may now don your white coats.
And we'll continue on with Hunter Osley Flores. Adam Ryan Floyd. Ron Godot. Ari Shi Gao. Brandon Thomas Garcia. Ramesh Babu Ganta. JC Marie Gibbons. Yesenia Gonzalez. Matthew Joseph Germillion. Andrea Jean Grimbergen. And you may now don your white coats. Kevin Tong Guan. Akash Gupta. Rohit Gupta. Qazi Muhammad Tesnif Hawk. Elizabeth Evans Harper. Avery Elizabeth Haugen. Anna Victoria Hernandez. Fernando Hernandez Centeno. Brian Thomas Hickner. Eric Ho. You may now don your white coats. Kevin Sun Ho. Lauren Michelle Hodgson. Jordan Hogue. Hudson Michael Holmes. Marisa Hudson. Nikki Ironpour. Joanne Jacob. Karthik Jagannath. Trevor John Jameson. Anvit Sandeep John Bodkar. And you may now don your white coats. Kevin Z. Jung. Kylie Sage Johnson. Venkata Sai Sumit Jonakuti. Manasi Joshi. Sai Vinayak Zoshi. Andre Gabriel Hove. Parth Kapadia. Alina Caradia. Laura Ann Keehan. Laura Alexandria Keenahan. You may now don your white coats. Gillian Aubrey Kelly. Peter Ignatius Kinney, Jr. Amelia Inos Coe. Paige Kathleen Killily. Austin Kinley. Dominic Joseph Kizek. Melissa Koch. You may now don your white coats.
Next we have Rishab Kuthari, Elizabeth Marie LaFrance, Brandon Min Lee, Jeffrey Quinn Lee, Sean Michael Liu, Luisa Liu, Chelsea Alexandra Livingston, Jacqueline May Loera, Ethan Alec Lofspring, Joseph Phillips Lopez. You may now don your white coat. Aubrey Brooke Lobshutter, Alexander Liu, Lin Feng Liu, Carl Christian Lundin, Brian Liu, Summer Victoria Liu, Rachel Nicole McCaskill, Diksha Madala, Christina Lee Magyar, Yodger N. Maker. You may now don your white coat. Adam D. Mainers, Grant Stephen McHorse, Natasha Neeraj Mehta, Lorna Min, Alina Mohanty, Samantha Nicole Morgan, Catherine Marie Nager, Ricardo Andres Nájera, Natasha Miranda Navarcar, Sean Michael Nelson. You may now don your white coat. Francisco José Novoa, Fernando Alexis Padilla, Joan Pan, Sugi Panirselvam, Belle Nabi Perisseau, Milbury Ann Park, Joseph Daniel Pekka, Rosemary Path, James Kwong Pham, Timothy Vin Pham, Ravanth Kumar Pundla. You may now don your white coat. Okay. Ravanth Kumar Pundla. Shravya Reddy Pathula. Matthew Brent Price. Ikra Casey. Tharth Raj. Roberto Alonso Ramirez III. Smruti Roth. You may now don your white coat.
Raj Reddy. Jenny Wren, Michael Rule, Grace Reynolds, Mary Caroline Robichaud, Marina Mamdou Raphael, Juan Manuel Romero, Danacha Sediporn, Varsha Sivagami Sathapin, Savannah Danielle Sabadell. You may now don your white coat. Alay Shah, Kathy Shang, Jason Shao, Brady Allen Slater, Amber Yuchen Song, Snigdha Srivastava, Lacey Stribling, Courtney Nicole Sullivan, Elizabeth Salt Case, Lauren Lacey Taylor. You may now don your white coat. Bryce Patrick Thomas, Tiffany Tran, Peter Michael Hugo, Matthew Yusevich, Erica Valdez, Larry D. Vernier III, Maria Vigil, Justin Vincent, Sarah Marie Waldvogel, Rachel Marie Walther. You may now don your white coat. Summer Hazel Walton, Jeffrey Wong, Nicole Brooke Weber, Jennifer Renee Welch, Sydney Went, Easton Lee West, Kylie Wilson, Christopher Wong, Victoria Katie Sheh, Andrew Yang, you may now don your white coat. Aaron Young, Jacqueline Young, Daniel Ye, Sammy Yunez, Theodore Zhang, Marisha Suzanne Zietzman. You may now don your white coat.
Congratulations, everyone. Now, I'd like to ask Dr. Joseph Cass, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, who will administer the medical student oath.
Thank you, Dr. Christner. So I'm going to ask the class of 2022 to please rise. And so why don't you say this along with me, okay? As a medical student at Baylor College of Medicine and as a future physician, I will practice medicine to the highest standards of conduct by doing what is best for my patients and allowing neither greed nor miserliness nor thirst for great reputation to corrupt me. I will cultivate the virtues of integrity, honesty, compassion, courage, respect, and self-sacrifice in myself and in my colleagues. I will remember that my actions impact the way the world perceives medicine. I will cherish the diversity among my patients and my colleagues and will not tolerate any form of discrimination or harassment. I will respect those who are wiser than I am and will gratefully follow their guidance. I will be compassionate and never see in the patient anything less than a fellow creature in pain. Today is the first step in a lifetime of learning, and I promise to always challenge the extent of my knowledge. May the white coat I don today remind me of the promises I've made and of my duty to make medicine better. Congratulations, the class of 2022, on your first step into your profession. You may be seated. And our ceremony is over. And go join your families and enjoy your evening. Thank you so much, families and students.